Good morning, everybody. Top of the morning. We'll cover a little bit of Bitcoin. We'll see what kind of altcoins you guys want to take a look at, and then yeah, and then we'll call it a Monday morning. All right, let's clean this up. So yeah, I think that's the last thing I posted. That these X's would get hit before this guy. Anything super clean in here? Pretty clean if you ask me. That 90-minute order block left over right in the tip. And yeah, and then we up in there. All right, so let's delete some stuff. This can go away now. Let's go ahead and get this off. So this is that zone that I was originally wanting to swing trade, but I wanted to hit it from here. I wanted to hit the zone from here for that swing trade, and you know, that area of the books have already been cleaned up, and you know, we had a really bullish result out of this guy. It's taken us all the way back up to this guy. Yeah, to me, this was the only significant resistance left prior to running the all-time high. So let's keep cleaning this up. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we don't need any of that. That's all old news. That's old news. Get this out of the way. That out of the way. Yeah, that looks good. So we know we have demand from here to here. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. This, and you know, it's kind of similar as I was explaining on that supply and demand video, like kind of similar type of pattern right here, right? So yes, I very much do like this section right here. Let's go ahead and let's get rid of this too, because if it's going to work, it's going to work. We don't need it anymore. I'd rather be more focused on this area. Currently, I would rather be more focused on that area. Let's go back down to the 3 and see if that's even going to be realistic. You know, so we got up into this area up here. We lost about 5-minute structure. Yeah, we lost about 5-minute structure up here. That structure just took us down to the last sell to buy that broke structure from left to right that put an inefficiency on the chart. So far hasn't been able to take us any lower than that. You know, and then of course, where you broke structure here, you had supply enter the market. So I think it's a pretty fair statement that, let's just slide this to the side so I don't have to look at you anymore. I think it's a pretty fair statement to make that if we can come up above this high, let's use clean drawing tools, and then we should be looking for any manner of backtest in here for a drive up to the all-time high. Yep. And another potential flow would be for it to fall back down out of there. Maybe we get some structure to develop along this leg. We hit down into an area like that. We see structure changing again. And we look to come out of this zone for the all-time high. This is still in my way. Go away. Go away. And then, other area of high probability, I still think is up here. Still think that's up there. I don't know where it, I'm just going to put it on there for now. That's all I'm going to do. Just a little placeholder. Just a little placeholder. I think we're going to need a bigger SL than that. Yeah, probably something like that. And let's see, in the event that that were to work, you're just in the way no matter where I put you today, buddy. In the event that that were to work, yeah, I mean, I think I would target ultimately there. And I don't think I have anything left to talk about on Bitcoin. What's up, Alex? Oh, crypto. Based on the Otter chat this morning, I'm going to assume that EL grabbed this long. What a bunch of gangsters. That was TP on my short, but I did not go long there. Mainly because I had to get to the shower. So I would much prefer this one, please. That'd be so much more fun. That'd be so much more fun, but that's fine. I can wait for this. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Hear me out. I took the short on Fartcoin. Yeah, I know. You did, huh? You did, huh? Well, I mean, obviously we got a little bit of pullback there, but my trouble is you didn't break any structure. Really, you just so far you've just hit the order block that you left behind right below you. Or if it basically it did the same thing that Bitcoin did, right? And here, let's take a closer look at Fartcoin. Let's get this big box out of the way. Can you please move out of the way for me? So you can see how you roll down, interact with your prior demand range, and then out of your prior demand range, you start breaking structure like this. Well, I mean, like you got to kiss that high goodbye, and that's your only hope before hitting this guy. So I'm hoping for you that we turn around and lose some structure of this leg. I wouldn't be too hopeful on it. But I'm going to hope for you that we can turn around and break that leg down here pretty quick. But demand is so far so good. So far, so good. All right. Well, I'm not gonna have. Okay, can we at least make these like 1 point or something? They are just messing my brain up, messing it up. This would be so much cooler. I want this. It'd be so much cooler. Anyways, what else? Let's see her. Let's say good morning to some people. Konomin, Miba, Black and Blue, Luke, what's up? Ondo Pancho, DDT, Aliman, Nick, the Legend, and of course Alex, which I think I already said good morning to you. Chat Master, the masters of the chat. Well, the other thing too, Black and Blue, it's like, on the whole Fartcoin short, it's like yeah, you had your whatever, your 3-minute change of character. You get a little bit of retest, you break down again. Like, sure, why not? Short it. I mean, like this still would have to me have been a target one, but the real moral of the story is what I'm really trying to say is you don't gotta win every trade. You ain't got to be some madman that tries to win every single trade. It's okay to try once in a while. You know what I mean? Just got to keep the win rate up and the risk down, and you should be fine. 106,813 entry. Let's go see this bullshit. Let's go see this bullshit. What? 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 Say what? Yeah, you're welcome for doing the supply and demand video. I think it actually came out pretty good, man. I rewatched it. I was happy. I was happy with myself. I think I missed a good opportunity to talk about premium and discount on that video. I mean, like, there's only, I mean, what do you? It was a lot of information already, so. Bum, 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 bum. And then what was Alex saying? Orb retest run? Alex, you do that 15-minute orb? You do that 15-minute orb thing? How you do your orb? There we go. Do it like that. 15? Sweet. Oh, did we already get a... You saying we already retested that thing? Bro, you're a ninja. You're a ninja. That's your retest? What a ninja. What a ninjutsu kind of fellow. All right. Well, I have a little bit of time left, but not like failed orb to the downside with a reclaim is super bullish. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about that guy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm with that. Any old hoodles. Any old hoodles. What do y'all wanna look at? What do y'all want to look at today? Because I'm done with Bitcoin. I am finito with the Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. Give me hope on Tia. Let's do that, bro. Let's do that. Let's give you some hope on Tia. I don't want to make up any hopium though. Imagine that position was derived from this idea. Okay, cool. Say you have a fairly significant divergence in open interest for whatever that's worth to you. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Open interest is currently as high here as it was here, right? So open interest is clear up here relative to that high. What does the volumes look like in this area? What does the volumes look like? Still a lot of trap traders down there. You go away for now. Hold on. Let's. This is too messy. I can't see. I can't see. Just everything go away. Everything go away. Go get on the getting. Get out of here. There's a 16-hour order block up here. I'd be weary of this guy. Let's get a price label on the bottom of him. But it's not as many trap traders as I was hoping for. It's really just some of these guys. Let's go down in time frame. Well, I mean, that looks fairly good in here. Doesn't look hateful down in this range. You know, you had this little bear flag situations. And you know, that brought you to a new low. So I would say we had a fairly significant amount of supply hit the market out of the top of that puppy, but the reaction on a revisit of it was pretty piss poor, wasn't it? And then further, it's like you SFP this high. No, you didn't even touch the high. My bad. I guess you got that one, but I don't really care. The real moral of the story is this. You kind of, off the low here, you flip some very internal structure right here. I mean, technically you have a little bit of external there, so let's include that because that really follows the rules better. Boom, 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 boom. And we got some love out of this. And we have flipped the structure to the bullishly out of it. Bull, where the bull at, right? And so, yeah, so it's, you know, we got some demand that formed new demand. We are mitigating said demand. We are changing 3-minute structure out of demand. You know, we have a little bit of supply left up here, but what did that do any good on Bitcoin or Fartcoin? No, it didn't do any good there. Doubt it's going to do any good here. No, I would say you're looking at range initiation mitigation, and you're coming for that high. That's what I would say. Oh, did it hit that? Oh, my bad. It did hit that. Yeah, it did hit that. But yeah, I mean, it had every opportunity in the world to come back for this thing. It had plenty of opportunity. But you really, like, the moment you even lose any structure on this thing and come down, you're immediately bouncing out of demand and breaking structure again, giving you an opportunity to do the old, I don't know why I wanted to call this an S. I don't think it is an S. But you get the point nonetheless. Yeah, I mean, like, I have a fairly high confidence that it's gonna come up to here. Fairly high confidence on that. That's our 12-hour order block up there with a big fat question mark. So what would it look like if things were to go to the moon or to Valhalla? What would that look like? Let's get rid of this. Let's reappropriate. Hey. Let's reappropriate this to this. Let's reappropriate that to that. Yeah, so I would say for me, it seems pretty clear that, say you get up over halfway through this or you exceed it, one of the two anyway, either way, you see signs of failure there. Well, then I would say that your next stop is going to be this high up here. And if you can break that high, then I think we can cruise up probably as far as supply. And at that point in time, you're going to have a completely different outlook on market structure. Will just come from this low. Right, you have a completely different outlook on market structure with a big bullish break underneath you. And so even if we do retrace from supply, it would appear we would absolutely have an opportunity just to mitigate the newly created demand for a run back up. And then by the time, if any of this has occurred, if any of this does occur, then let's see, this guy went up into supply, mitigated supply, came back down to demand, mitigated demand, lifts back up. I don't see any reason that it isn't going to crack this high, and this supply would be cooked to me by then. And then I think we would be running back up to this area on the chart at that point. At that point, I think we'd be running back up to areas like that on the chart. So probably something more like up to here. Whatever, up to there. Retrace, get back down into demand, which you probably can't even see. Whatever, that's good enough. Your demand would then be down in this area. And then, yeah, and then I think we could be up to 3.4, and then, if we can break through 3.4 and get through that supply above it, show some failure there, then you're changing your structure even better, giving yourself an opportunity to come back down for a mitigation with the prior demand, and then maybe a lift back up to this zone here. I think it would need to flow somewhat like that, and then we could be back up at some of those way higher targets. So, I mean, the best hopium I can provide for you, my good brother, is that locally it doesn't look so bearish. It doesn't look so bearish. I mean, you have a pretty significant reduction in bearish momentum coming into the most recent low. That was a 5.41% drop. This is only a that's half of that still, meaning that on the higher time frames, this is likely an SFP, placing weakness up here anyway. And then let me go back out. What do we have here? Yeah, about 5%, and then half of that again. What was the one before that? Is that 8%? No, 9%. Yeah, so definitely reducing in the effectiveness of the bears down there. And the last time we started to see those really reduce like that, we had a pretty bullish result from it. And like this kind of reminds me of where we're at similarly, right? Where you poke the low once, don't set like any higher highs, and then you poke the low again, and then you kind of fart around for a little bit before anything really bullish happens. I don't think that's overly different than where it's at currently. Where it's, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, so this is like where we poke the low once, and then poke that recent low again. Yeah, that's pretty similar. Oh, and then we fart around, right? Then we kind of fart around here. I don't think any of that presents like incredibly different. What are you doing, Bitcoin? Are you trying to SFP that high, homie? Bruv, are you trying to SFP this high? Fuck out of here. That's not bullish. Ooh, me no like that. Well, that's going to give me an opportunity to like break damn near 30-minute structure in this zone that I was worried about, right? You get the point. Ooh. Yut. Interesting. Anyways. Chapmaster, I don't hate the idea of Elon buying crypto to cement his future of taking over Mars. But I do have to wonder to myself, does the richest person in the world need to buy cryptocurrency to get richer? Probably not. Doesn't mean he wouldn't, but man, I gotta say, this is not good. That is not good. Very important that this low holds at this point. Very important indeed. Or was that the retest of the top of the 15-minute orb? I deleted too much shit. Yeah, or is this the retest of the breach the old orb, come back in? Maybe. All right. Fartcoin is in a high time frame supply, but has a bullish God candle now. What did it do? Yeah, so I mean, let's talk about this because we were just freshly doing supply and demand, right? So we can objectively determine that significant amount of supply hit the market in this area. We can objectively determine that. We have the juiciest most section of it right here. We are currently tapping that right now. But what we know is that, right? We know it hit the market. We know it incurred a bearish result. We know it knocked out all these orders. We know all those things. What we don't know is if they're still holding the position and plan to compound or defend the position. That's what we don't know. We know it happened here, but we have to ask ourselves upon a reinteraction of it, is demand or supply in control? Well, if supply is in control still, you're going to come back and you're going to break this low. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to come back and you're going to break that low. But if demand is in control, which you have no evidence that supply is in control yet, by the way, just zero evidence. If if demand is in control, well then we're going to set a higher high out of this area. And so far, the evidence suggests that demand is in control. I would rather look for this than I would look for this. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from looking for both of them, but I would rather, yeah, I mean, the trend is currently up. The trend is currently up. All right, I'm going to go take a look at tote 3. Since you guys didn't give me anything else to look at, I want to look at total 3. Oh, we're getting close. Oh, we're getting close. 8. Yeah. Come on. Come on, total. Come on, total. What is ETH doing? Wait, what is Sol doing? What is Sol doing? Sol does not look nearly as healthy here. What is ETH doing? ETH is being a bastard as usual. Well, that's not particularly a good look there, is it, ETH? Like, where bull, man? Where to bull at? So we broke bullishly here. I made it all the way through that demand. Well, okay, so it's a good question. So we know that the daily has a bearish break on this. We know that. But I don't know, here's my thing with this is we have the structure is all kind of, so we got a low, we got a high, we have a higher low, and we so far have a higher high. Yeah, which breaks this point bullishly, which was kind of some of the warnings that I was giving about this zone from the get-go, is that we would have to be under bullish market structure to achieve that zone. And so, yeah, a higher time frame is still pointing down. Let's get back to that because that was the daily. So we know that because of the bearish break, the higher time frame is still pointing down, but we also know that we may just have a potential range right here in the form of an SFP of this low. Price right now is currently at this point. This bearish break here becomes a thing of the past as soon as we break this level. As soon as we break that level there, well then that bearish break just got reversed. So yeah, I'm aware of this, but in a sense that this has already kind of performed its job, right? Like after it was re-interacted with, it both took out the low that brought it there and took out this further low here, but failed to close below it. So so yes, even with the higher time frames being bearish, locally you are still bullish, man. You're just still bullish. Yep. Yep. So I don't know. It's tough to short it or long it, in my opinion. At this point, it is tough to short it or long it. I say it's tough to long it because you're in the premium of this. It's really like a daily range. Whatever, close. Call it a 12-hour range or so in between this high and this low. We're in premium. Right, prices up here in premium, so it's hard to justify a long to come up to here when we haven't even really mitigated here yet. And it's hard to justify a short because all structure is still bullish. So it's a little bit of a hands-off area for me. A little bit of a hands-off area. Yeah, what else we got? What else we got, guys? What's dominance doing? Bitcoin dominance still cruising up. Okay, what's USTD doing? Probably still cruising down. Where the hell did that thing go? Yeah, USTD looks bearish. It's going to look super bearish when it loses this low. I would say that a loss of that low, well, you still have some demand underneath you. But I think it ultimately brings us down to here. Because to me, that would still break the primary structure up from the low. So if we did lose that, I would still anticipate a climb back down to there. All right, well, I'm probably gonna call this a done deal, man. I'm probably gonna call this a done deal. I think I'm gonna head out for the day. Apologize, I don't think we found that many setups today. Still interested in this. And I'm still interested in this. Both final targets would be the same. Is there any intermediate targets? Yeah, this guy. Oh, messed that up. What the tip of the arrow, bro. All right. Cool. You guys have a good one, man. I'm gonna go get to work. I'm gonna get to work, do the work things. Oh, boy, that made those drawings look terrible. That's all right. You get the point. You get the point. Alrighty. Alrighty then, chaps. Adios, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for coming and joining me. Take care. Peace. Adios. One last thing. Like a maybe down into that kind of zone. Anyways, I gotta go.